What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Monster Review, where we take a look at tech tips, and how-to videos. Today's video is brought to you by Eunice. He's not a thing, he's not a service, he's not a sponsor, but he is the inspiration behind this video. So shout out to Yu. He was the one that introduced me to the MetaQuest 2. I'm no stranger to VR headsets. I've been playing around with VR headsets since the day that Google debuted their cardboard, VR cardboard. And so I was using that, and then I upgraded to their Daydream headset. So I'm very familiar with VR and the capabilities. However, I wasn't aware of the big difference between a dedicated VR headset and a stupid cardboard with a cutout for your phone. I had no idea that there was a huge difference until Yu showed me his VR headset and introduced me to the world of MetaQuest. So after playing around with his MetaQuest 2, I came home and I purchased one. Mainly for my kids, but also I purchased one just to take it for a test drive and to squeeze every bit of potential I can out of this headset. So here is a list of 3 things that I find very appealing with the MetaQuest 2 and is definitely something I recommend you do if you have this headset as well. Let's get into it. First, let's start with the 360 videos. I was able to transfer my 360 videos from my Insta360 over to the headset. Now, there are some settings to be aware of. The Insta360 shoots 4K at 60 frames per second, and I thought that this would be the best settings because that 60 frames per second would provide that smoothness. However, stick to 5.7K at 30 frames per second. This is the highest setting that the Insta360 shoots at, and it also provides the best playback on the MetaQuest 2. Now, transferring your Insta360 videos to this MetaQuest 2 sounds easy enough, right? But no! There was a hurdle that I had to overcome. Number one, getting my files onto this VR headset was a pain. I first attempted to use my desktop that I built to transfer the files. However, the desktop, which runs Windows 10, would not see the headset. Actually, it would see the headset, but it wouldn't apply the correct driver so I could see it as a storage device and transfer my video files. So that was a no-go. So then I moved to my Dell laptop, which was running Windows 11. Now this was an entirely different situation. Well, not really. Kinda, not really. On the laptop, it would pull the correct driver for this headset, which is MTP device, by the way. If it pulls up as an MTP device, then that is the correct driver. If it shows up as an Oculus headset under Device Manager in Windows, that is not the correct driver. So it showed up as an MTP device. However, no drive would be visible for me to transfer my files over. So that was a no-go. And yes, I did try rebooting the headset and also my laptop, even pushed the latest Microsoft Windows 11 update, still didn't do anything. I even tried to manually download the driver on both my desktop and laptop with no results. So the last computer I had standing was my MacBook, and right off the bat, Macs don't read Android devices. Yes, the MetaQuest 2 is an Android device. It runs Android OS with a MetaQuest skin on top of it. Anyway, but there is a way around it. If you download Android file transfer online and install it onto your computer, you then unlock the ability to connect any Android device to your MacBook and move files around. And so this finally worked, sort of. So when it worked, it connected, and I was able to transfer my files over. But when I disconnected, viewed my video files, then connected back to my MacBook to transfer even more video files, guess what? Android file transfer would claim it cannot see my device. So frustrating. I have to reboot my MacBook and my Oculus Quest in order for the Android file transfer to finally see my Oculus headset again. But I did find a better solution, which I will go through later on in the video, so stay tuned, don't go anywhere. The 360 video thing, it's not going to be for a lot of you. I know it wouldn't be for Yu because he doesn't have a 360 camera. But if you do happen to have a 360 camera because, you know, you're a rich kid who has rich parents, then definitely try it out. It's really cool. But now let's cover the must-dos for majority of you young kids. Number 1, it's called SideQuest. Now, what is SideQuest? Well, it's a program that you install on your Mac or Windows. It's supported on both platforms. And when you install it and open it up for the first time, it kind of looks like the Play Store or an App Store. It has a bunch of games and productivity software apps designed these Quest headsets. Basically, you can click on, you know, an app. For example, this app called QuestCraft. Basically, it's an app for the Meta Quest headset that allows you to play Minecraft. Granted, you do need the Java edition Minecraft for PC in order for this to work. If you don't, it's not going to work. Make sure you have Minecraft for PC Java edition before downloading this QuestCraft. But I mean, you're not going to get anything like this in the Meta Quest store. The only way to do this is through SideQuest. And so imagine jumping into your Minecraft world. It's really cool. It is challenging, right? So, you know, you do have to relearn a lot of the buttons because it's not going to be the same as playing on a, you know, Xbox controller or a PS4 controller. But it's cool. It's the only way to experience Minecraft with your VR headset. And that's what SideQuest allows you to do. It allows you to install third-party software that is not supported by Meta onto your headset. And guess where most of the free games are? Yes, most of the free games that are for VR headsets are from third-party developers, and so it opens the door for free games. So, for example, look at this racing game. Like, this game is free, but you would think they cut corners to make it free. That's not the case. This game is so detailed, like it's ridiculous. Like, you can step out of your vehicle and view your vehicle from the outside. It's so crazy. And those little things make the game so immersive. Yeah, the car, you know, doesn't look like a high quality car. The game itself doesn't look like a high quality game, but it's just so much fun because they did such a great and amazing job at designing the game. And of course, like I said, the best part is it's free. But you're not going to find this on the MetaQuest store. You're only going to find this on SideQuest. Number 2, SideQuest allows you to sideload APK files that you download from the web. So really quick, APK files are Android apps that you can download online, transfer over to your Android device, and then you can use your Android device to open up that file and install that app. It's like another way of installing app. You bypass the Play Store. But like I said, this is an Android device, and so SideQuest allows you to sideload APK files onto your SideQuest headset. So for example, an Android app you really like, you can potentially see, you know, chances are it's not going to work, but you can at least test drive it and see if it'll work on this headset. So you just go online, download a APK file for the software you're looking for, and then use SideQuest to sideload it, and then you can launch it on the Quest headset and see if it works. If it doesn't, oh well, delete it. If it does, woo, you now got your favorite Android app running on your Quest. And then number 3, SideQuest allows you to manage the files on your Quest headset. And so I can use SideQuest now to transfer my 360 video files over to my headset with no problem. It works 100% of the time. I never had an issue connecting to my headset, and I've never had an issue transferring files to the headset. The only problem I found is that after a file is being transferred to the headset, it does take about maybe no more than 5 minutes for it to actually show up on the headset. Otherwise, like, you know, I'll transfer it and then I'll look for the file and it's not there, and refresh, not there, reboot, not there. 5 minutes later, then it'll pop up. So that's the only problem with SideQuest. With Android file transfer, the file shows up basically right away, but for some reason SideQuest takes a while before the file shows up. Not a big deal. I can overlook it. As great as SideQuest is There are a couple of downfalls. Number one, you have to create a Meta developer account. If you don't have a Meta account, then you're going to want to go to the Meta developer account website, and you're going to want to create a new account. And this will give you the ability to create a developer account as you're creating a Meta account. If you already have a Meta account, then that's no problem either. You just go to the Meta developer account website, and you're going to log in using your regular Meta account, and it'll basically transition your Meta account to a developer account, or it will add the developer tools to your Meta account. Now, after you create a developer account or add the developer account to your ordinary Meta account, the next step is to create a company name for your developer account, and this is a must. You have to create a company name. Make up any company name you want. For me, I just named my company Monster Review. I guess it has to do with a lot of developers are backed by a company. That's why they do it that way. I don't know. But after you create a company name for your developer account, then you can go and create a new app. Once you create a new app inside the Meta developer website, then on your Meta app on your phone, you'll notice that there's a developer setting. And once you turn it on, then you can go ahead and you can install SideQuest onto your computer, and then launch SideQuest and connect your headset and let SideQuest do its thing on your headset. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but I'll be honest with you. When I was going through the process, I had every intention of recording the steps. I just got so frustrated with things not working, and then it took me a long time to find a developer website. They don't exactly give you clear instructions on how to enable developer mode on this headset. On Android phones, to enable developer mode is so easy. But now that I told you that there's a website you have to go to set up developer mode, it might be easier for you. For me, because it took me a while to find that developer website, I turned off all the cameras, and then just like, I ain't going to figure this out now. But as soon as I turned off the camera, I figured it out. So, but if you have any questions, leave them below, and I'll get back to you and help in any way I can. And then the last and final must do is set up QuestLink. Now, what's QuestLink? QuestLink is a software, again, that you install on your PC. So sorry, Mac users, you're not supported. It's only for PC. But it's a software you install on your PC, and then that allows your headset to link up with the software that's installed on your PC. And what it does is it drops you in this big, vast, open white room where you can see for miles. Really relaxing, actually. I find it very mesmerizing. And then in front of you, you got like a little dashboard. There's a couple of things you can do, but the main talking points is it allows you to play computer VR games using your headset. So if you have any PC VR games, you could play them using your Meta Quest 2 and the QuestLink software. Number two, it allows you to connect to your friends in VR, so you guys can play VR games and then communicate with each other. Kind of like back in the day, if you're my age, you come home from school, you log into this website that has very horrible and cheap Flash games, and you'll be playing games, and you got AIM open up here, and an MSN Messenger open up here, and then Facebook open up here, and MySpace open up there. It's kind of like the same thing, I guess, just in a VR universe. I personally don't have any use for it, but if you have a huge following in the MetaQuest universe, then you might be into it. Me personally, I'm not. And then the third, this is the big one. This is the icing on the cake. It allows you to view your PC screen in this virtual world. So basically, you can create a VR screen any size you want and see your PC. Woo, that opens the door to so many things. Number one, you can view your workflow on a massive VR screen. Like working on a TV that's 120 inches wide and wrapped around you. I've never seen my computer on a screen that big. Sure, I got a projector that casts like 100-inch screen, but I can't really work off of that projector, because if I were to stand in front of the projector, my shadow would be cast on the projection screen. So this was a first for me, and it was quite something. Is it usable? Yeah, it's usable. I was trying to edit a video using DaVinci in this VR screen, and I didn't like it. It was cool at first, but then I got tired of it real quick because the quality is just not there. Image quality is bad. It's not as good as working off of a dedicated PC monitor. And so I would just much rather use my 27-inch Dell monitor to do my video editing, not a VR, you know, landscape or VR screen. Let's say you have a massive spreadsheet and you would like to see the entire spreadsheet, then I can see it being useful for you. Number two, you could use the PlayStation remote application for PC to play your PS4 or PS5 games on a screen like you've never played before. I cranked up this screen as big as I could and wrapped it around me. And so I was playing Hot Wheels on my PS5. I played Call of Duty. I played a bunch of PS5 games. South Park. Call of Duty was terrible. It gave me a headache. I wanted to throw up right away. So I wouldn't recommend doing this with Call of Duty. But with like the Hot Wheels game, it was incredible. I was so immersed in this PS5 game that I've been playing for a while, but it was like playing it in an entirely different way. The screen was wrapped around me, so everywhere I looked, all I saw was Hot Wheel tracks and cars, and then directly in front of me was this big Hot Wheel car, and I was in control of it. This was just crazy. It so cool. I highly recommend you do this. You will thank me. I guarantee it. It's going to be something that you've never experienced before. Even if you don't like it, at least you got to experience it. And number three, Xbox also has a software that allows you to remote into your Xbox and play your Xbox game. And I did use their software as well, and it was just as mesmerizing. I was playing Horizon 5, and it was just incredible, just like the PlayStation experience. There are some downsides, or I wouldn't call it downsides, more like observations I made while playing around with, you know, the PlayStation remote app and the Xbox remote app. Number one, the PlayStation remote software only supports a wired controller to the PC, so you can't wirelessly connect this to the computer. Well, you can, but it won't work with the PlayStation remote software. The PlayStation remote software only recognizes a remote that's plugged in to your computer using a USB Type-C cable if it's a PlayStation 5 remote, or a micro USB cable if it's a PS4 remote. That means that you're tied to your PC, but it's not a deal breaker, at least not for me. I mean, if you have a laptop, you could technically still be portable. Number two, the Xbox software bridges your remote connection to the Oculus Link software on the PC. That means that this, whether it's wired or wireless, yes, with the Xbox controller, you can wirelessly connect it to your PC and use it to play your remote games, or you can hardwire it to your PC and use it to play your remote games. It's your choice. But whether it's wireless or wired, Windows bridges the connection and shares it with the Oculus Link software. So what ends up happening is that you could use the remote to control your headset. Link universe that they put you in, you can navigate using this controller, and that's good and dandy. But if you're using the Xbox remote app to remote into your Xbox and play a Xbox game remotely, guess what ends up happening? The two collide. The two worlds collide. So I was playing Horizon 5, and I went to go brake using the LT trigger. When I pressed it to brake and pressed the joystick to turn, what ended up happening is that in the headset, a little mouse, that's what is represented by the remote. You can control move this little mouse around using the joystick. This little mouse grabbed my VR screen, because that's what LT does. It grabs on the headset. It grabbed my VR screen, and then a joystick, depending on what direction you push it, you can enlarge it or you can make it smaller. It ended up going small on me because I think I was going left, and so it shrunk the screen on me. I tried to not brake because that was the only way to not grab the screen, and that worked for a little bit, But, you know, it's Horizon 5. There's situations where you're just going to have to brake. Now, there is a workaround. You can remap the button in your game that you're playing. But unfortunately, in the Quest Link software or, you know, Windows, there's no way to separate that bridge. There's no way to break that bridge. If you go into the Quest Link software, there's no option to disconnect a remote controller. It is something that can get annoying depending on what game you're playing. But there you go. Those are my suggestions you should absolutely be doing with your MetaQuest 2. If you have any questions, leave them below. If you want to see a tutorial on how to go about setting up a developer account, installing SideQuest, and then installing Quest Link, leave me a comment telling me you want this. And if I get enough requests, I'll start working on that video. Thanks for watching. My name is Z. Hasta luego, muchachos. Time to game on.
That I'm such a weirdo. Tattoos from my toes to my earlobes. Was a role model, I never had a hero. I learned how to live through the stereo. Coming from where I come from, the inferior. Everything you see ain't what it appears though. Everything that I built made that from zero, then added a zero. I am my hero. You couldn't imagine what it's like in my mind. It's beauty and catastrophe at the same time. Remember they laughed at me when it was game time. Now I know that they mad at me. I'm one you can't find. I'm not from the day. I come alive at night. I'm not what you used to couldn't recognize. They all on the ground while I'm taking flight. Yeah, you're welcome to join me. I promise I won't bite.
Things they say, they're never getting in my way. And even if I make mistakes, I will always see them through. Cause I don't wanna play your game. I had enough, I'm burning up so hot I just break your chain. You can never stop what's building up inside of me.
I guess I don't fit in with the imposters. I'm taking the mask off, prepare your conscience, prepare for honest, cut off all the nonsense. I'm all in your chakra, wonder who shot you. Go call the doctor, boom like the chopper. Don't you get chopped up, I'm here to stop you. Whoever wants smoke like a roster, break you off proper.
Things they say, they're never getting in my way. And even if I make mistakes, I will always see them through.
What's that?
Cause I don't wanna play your game. I had enough, I'm burning up so hot I just break your chain. You can never stop what's building up inside of me. Play your game. I had enough, I'm burning up so hot I just break your chain. You can never stop what's building up inside of me.
They say that I'm such a weirdo. Tattoos from my toes to my earlobe.
Can never stop what's building up inside of me.
They say that I'm such a weirdo. Tattoos from my toes to my earlobe.
Can never stop what's building up inside of me. Can never stop what's building up inside of me.